Anybody see the Akaku Forum the other week? It was a tense room. Everybody in the room was tense to start. We had a chance before the cameras went on to talk, myself and the other candidates, and I'm going to get out of the way because I want you to see them, not just me, but we had a chance to speak before the cameras went on, and we spoke about the need to serve you, and not just in some cliched way. We're facing a serious crisis. It's not just an economic crisis, it's a foundational crisis. As Ron mentioned, the founding principles of our country, he described them for you. Is that what we see today typically? Probably not. The very essence and nature of who we are as a people is at stake. It's not just about Maui, but the solution starts local everywhere around the country. And that's why the manner in which we address our challenges, we do well or we do poorly, will affect much of the country, but the answer starts right here with these people and with you. Before the cameras went on the other day, I committed to each of these individuals and the others that were there, so I commit, I will help you, no matter who wins. You have my loyal support in serving this community. People are scared that I've been going door to door and speaking with. They're scared about their jobs, they're scared about their homes. People are scared for their businesses. This is not just a normal election. We have crucial issues at stake. Mr. Winkler was talking about a gentleman that commented on the founding of our nation. And that nation was founded on the principles around which the Maui wedding and event professionals are built. It's small, independent business with economic and political freedom to speak and act. The thing we're lacking here in Hawaii, and have lacked since people have been in Hawaii, is the middle class. Whether it was the early days with the Native Hawaiians, or the plantation days, or the era that is now ending of large developers on one side, labor unions on the other, and nobody in the middle in between. That era is now coming to a close because, like the eras before it, the time has passed, and now we need to reinvent our community and our society. And I would suggest to you, reinvention is probably too broad of a word. The principles of democracy and freedom have been debated all around the world for many thousands of years, and I would submit to you that our founding fathers, through our Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, laid the foundation for a proper, powerful, and strong democracy. So rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, for me, that's where I look for inspiration and what to do next. I want to address a couple points before I get into my campaign platform, and I think that we have a timekeeper, who's our time right here, who's going to throw a rock at me when I have about a minute left. Some of you know that I founded the Tea Party in Hawaii. Why is that? If you watch CNN, they call us all a bunch of racists. People that know me know that I have worked very hard to prevent institutionalized racism in America, and specifically in Hawaii, and very successful at doing that. People familiar with Hawaiian issues and Filipino issues can attest to that. The reason I, as a Democrat, started the Tea Party here and brought people together is because I believe that no matter what political party you're associated with, on the federal level, government has grown too large, taxation has grown too burdensome, regulations too difficult to comply with, freedom, prosperity, and the social values that we have as a community are being crushed. You can see an example of that happening right here in Hawaii with the way that our county treats our wedding and event professionals as small business and middle class, and the difficulties that they face in diversifying the economy and growing their businesses. So I want to suggest to you, as I have suggested to the Tea Party folks, I left leadership of that organization about 8 months ago. I said we need to reach a broader audience. I will work with anybody and everybody to address these common principles. We need to pull together. So whether it's the Republicans, the Democrats, environmentalists, labor unions, big business, land developers, spoken with all of them. And I'm saying, we have a problem here. What we've been doing for the last 30 years is not going to work. I think we can clearly see that. The tourism model that we have will still be very important. We've been talking for decades about diversifying the economy. The Holy Grail never seems to materialize. Because of the crisis we're facing in government and the economy, and even a crisis in our society, this is our chance to rebuild who we are as a people from the ground up. I'm going to get into a little bit of that, what the government's role is in that, and what your role is in that goal. This is a crisis, it's an opportunity. I know you're all familiar with the Chinese concept of crisis and opportunity being two sides of the same coin. We can fumble it, continue along the same path, and some of the candidates represent that kind of thinking, not to criticize, because I understand where that's coming from. There's nothing new there, nothing fresh, no new ideas. Or we can rebuild something that works. On Akaku the other day, I spoke about nonprofits, and I want to just put this to bed before this issue gets any further. Anybody that saw me there, I had 30 seconds to answer a question about nonprofits. Didn't get to finish my answer. Since I'm not a professional politician, not as good yet as 30-second sound bites covering complex issues. So I got cut off halfway through. But let me make it clear. Nonprofits of whatever denomination, whether the churches or non-faith, whatever they are, they're an essential part of our community. In fact, most of the important services and activities that we have, social-based, in America are nonprofit. We need that. We depend on that. Of course we want that. I'm not a proponent of larger government. I'm a proponent of smaller government. More of those tasks at the county level, the state and the federal level, will be moving to nonprofits in the community. The role of nonprofits will grow, not shrink. But the role of nonprofits cannot grow if they're depending on us to pay their taxes for them, which is what we do already in recognition of their value. That's why they're nonprofits. We recognize their crucial value to our society. That's why you and me and everybody in this room subsidize as we pay their tax for them. They operate 30% cheaper than everybody else. We pay their tax for them. Because we love what they do, we value them. The problem we have here in Maui County is that we are also spending county funds in direct payments to nonprofits beyond what we can sustain. Maui spends about 50 to 60 times more per citizen on nonprofit operations than any other county in Hawaii. So my point was not to say that nonprofits are bad. Of course, it's exactly the opposite, and my message is the community needs to take more of the burden, but we're not going to be able to pay for it directly through government funds. And if you think about the efficiency of that, you'll understand it quickly. If I take $10 out of my pocket, give it to my favorite charity, they get to have $10. If the county comes and takes $10 out of my pocket with the promise to give it to a charity, I can tell you from 8 years in county and state government that $4 of those $10 will be wasted right off the top. Paperwork, studies, inefficiencies. Another $2 will be spent on politicking and infighting, and that nonprofit will be lucky. Studies have shown if they get $1.50 out of that $10. So if you care about nonprofits like I do, you lead the way with direct donations. And I plan, as your mayor, to donate a significant portion of my salary. I will lead the way, and so will my administration, voluntarily, out of pocket, paying for charities directly. That is how we're going to deal with our social issues. We need to streamline government dramatically. I was successful in saving the county and you, the taxpayer, $10 million first year as a rookie cop 10 years ago by streamlining simple processes. It's not rocket science. The county needs to be streamlined and it needs to be taken out of your way. In comparison, our current mayor, Charmaine Tavares, great lady, I love her, known her a long time. She used furloughs, contract cuts, position cuts, and she was able to save $15 million this year. Point being, there is far more waste and inefficiency in the system. We can get to it without having to lay off live bodies. We don't need to do that. There's dead wood that should be cut, but we don't need to go there by firing people left and right. Common sense efficiency needs to be applied. I want to get back to one point real quickly. Maui wedding and event professionals. The county, under my administration, will be regulating impacts, not activities. We're flipping the whole thing on its head. Your permits will be given to you very quickly within days. If we can't get you to comply easily, we'll abandon the regulation. But more importantly, instead of giving you a laundry list of what you may do on your property, we're going to change the enforcement mechanism to let you do anything on your property as long as the impacts are not in excess of X, Y, and Z. So it's an entirely new philosophy. Gets the government out of the way. I'm about to take my mic. Get the government out of your way so small business can grow. And that's what I'll be doing as your mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.